All right, so we'll start the session, right? Okay, so this is about core Java training program.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's first introduce ourselves, you know, with the basic history about Java, that it got introduced in 1995 by a firm or a company called Sun Microsystems, right? And in 2011, now it is owned by Oracle Corporation. That is why all updates of Java are now on oracle.org, right? They are now available on the oracle.org website, right? That is one thing that you know it Java is owned by Oracle, and all version of JDK or JRE, they are all available on Oracle, right? See, after that there is one basic fact about Java, which is Java is a platform independent language, right? When we say platform independent, basically we mean Java based application can run on any operating system, right? Java based application can run on any operating system. Java based application can run on Windows, Mac, Ubuntu, any operating system. So that is one fact about Java that one should know, that it is a platform independent language. And since 2011, Java is owned by Oracle. Okay.
Right.
So the many websites, many applications that we open, uh, you know, for that sometimes we are prompted that please install the latest version of Java, right? So we'll understand what do they mean. So there are three terms in Java which is very important to know as far as their differences are concerned, right? So first is JDK, Java Development Kit, which is only for programmers or testers. Anybody who is dealing with Java, they should know JDK. They should have JDK, right? I'll come back to JDK. Second one is Java Runtime Environment, right? JRE. If I am a normal user, I have nothing to do with programming, I need JRE on my machine, right? The last one is Java Virtual Machine, right? It is not a physical software, it is a virtual software which comes as part of JVM itself. What is the role of what is the job of JVM? It is to convert my Java code to byte code, which is also known as machine language, because operating system understands machine language or bytecode. So you can say my English written code is converted into machine language code by JVM, and then my code runs on operating system, right? So it is not a physical software, it comes as part of JRE. That is why when my Java based application has to run, that code is converted into bytecode or machine language code by Java Virtual Machine, and then it runs. And apart from that, JRE also gives you all Java packages, because websites are using, let's say, java.util package, the java.io package, input output, non-blocking input output, lang package, right? Object class. So Java runtime environment says I will give you all packages of Java so that your application can run on operating system, and JVM will run that application on operating system. Sometimes we use libraries like log4j, right? Or you know, other libraries are there, right? Which Maven provides. Library is a complete package in itself, right? So all those libraries will also come. There are binaries, DLL files, which are required by Windows or Mac or Ubuntu, right? Those DLL will also come on your operating system. For example, Java W to execute Java, rt.jar, for making your code in sync with operating system, right? So Java virtual machine make my Java code run on operating system. JRE has all packages, libraries and binaries, plus it has JVM. And when I am a programmer, I get JRE with JDK also. And JRE brings JVM with itself. Plus with JDK, I get all the debugging tools, all the plugins that I need to install, right? Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this difference one has to know very clearly. JRE is for any other user who has nothing to do with programming, right? JVM makes my code run on operating system, and JDK is for us who wants to code in Java, right? Because we need plugins, GitHub or things like that. Everything we will get, right? If you don't have JDK on your machine, all you need to do is simply type free download JDK. It will take you to Oracle website, and here JDK 20 version for Windows, this MSI you can download. It will directly update your DLL files, or you can download this exe and Java will install. To check Java on your machine, all you need to do is go to C drive, under C drive program files, Java folder. Here you will get JDK, right? It has binaries, libraries, JVM with itself. And if you download just a JRE, that is also, you know, one can download free download, Java runtime environment for a Windows, right? Uh, for this uh, from Oracle you can download that, right? Or from other JetBrains, or you know from there also we can download the runtime environment, because it is just for a Java based application to run on my operating system, my mobile, my Windows, my desktop, my laptop, my Mac, my Windows or my Ubuntu, any operating system, right? So this is the difference, right? JDK has JRE, JRE has JVM. So is this difference clear?
Yeah, yeah. So far, good. I'm just on mute. So in case if I get any questions, I'll just unmute myself.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah. So far it is good. Yeah.
Okay. See, then comes this IDE. This IDE is there. Okay, this is called as IDE, Integrated Development Environment, right? IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Eclipse is a open source. Anybody can use it. It is free. IntelliJ Community Edition is also free. The best part about Eclipse is also created in Java, right? Your organization is using STS or NetBeans or any third party IDE, you know, we can use that, right? If you need any help with the IDE, I will provide that, right? But this is how the IDE looks like. This is Eclipse, you know, this is Eclipse and this is IntelliJ. In these IDE we code, we try to program, and if you don't have IDE with you, all you need to do is you type free download Eclipse. It will take you to this website and you can click download, and once you click here you will get the IDE installed on your machine, right? Similarly, if you need IntelliJ, all you need to do is free download IntelliJ, and it will take you to the JetBrains website. You can download this community edition. Okay, I am fine with both. I can help you write code in both IDEs, right? IDE is a integrated development environment which needs the JDK. So all programmers, all programs that you see, they have the the JDK with them. All the jar files are with them. I'll just show you everything, right? So in this IDE, if I right click, if I create a new project, a simple Java project with the name, let's say right, let's say JDK 1508, I created a project with this name, right? I can, I don't need this module info file. Whatever current version of JDK is available on my machine, it will come here. Next, right, source folder is there to create packages and all. So once I finish, you will see, I don't want to change the perspective. You see this packages, this is created here, right? This project is created here, right? Now before I move further, let's talk about another basic fact. So what we have learned right now, Java is now owned by Oracle since 2011. We have learned Java is a platform independent language. Independent language that my Java code can run on any operating system. We understood the difference between JDK, JRE and JVM, right? And we came to know about IDE. See, then comes the building block of data manipulation in Java language, which is called as data type of data that we are dealing with. So there are two types of data type. One is primitive, another one is reference. See, there are 8 primitive data types, right? Byte, short, right? Int, long, float, double, char, boolean. Primitive means this data type comes with the Java language, right? Now, based on your value, let's say if your value is range between 2 raised to the power 7 minus 1 to 2 raised to the power 7, which is 128, minus 127 to 128, you use byte. Similarly, short is when your data ranges between minus 2 raised to the power 15 minus 1. This is a caret sign, right? Similarly, integer is when your data ranges between 2 raised to the power 31 minus 1 to positive 31. Last is long when your data ranges between 2 raised to the power 63 minus 1 to 2 raised to the power 63. See, this is 128. If you talk about short, it comes to 32,767 to 32 raised to the power 31 is a big number. It's a 10-digit number. It's like 2 billion kind of a number, and float is the longest value. So based on this data, you decide the data type. Similarly, float, when you use decimals, for example stock prices, for example retail product prices, right? For example currency prices, where decimals comes into picture. Double ends with D, right? Character is when things are enclosed within single quote. Boolean represent one bit of an information. Default value is false, but Boolean can be false or true. It is used as part of conditional expression, let's say in while loop or for loop, right? Where we check conditions, this or that kind of thing. So these are 8 primitive data types that comes with Java language. Based on the quantity of your number, based on the value of your number, you decide which data type to go ahead with. Accordingly, memory is allocated to that particular data. Reference variable, for example, I'm going to create, for example, I'm going to, for example, I'm going to create an employee class or a customer class or a person class or a product class or a price class. This EMP, it is called as reference variable whose default value is null. That is why null pointer exception comes when we don't allocate a proper value, right? Ultimately, this is object, but you can call it as a reference variable also, right? Default value for byte short int long is 0. Default value for float and double is 0.0. Default value for character, there are 35,565 characters. Every character has a octal binary and hexadecimal value. Whatever you see on your keyboard, this is the default value for a character, and default value for boolean is false, right? 8 primitive data types. And reference variable, when we deal with class, or on the right hand side the constructor is there, right? 8 primitive data types comes with the language. Reference variable we create as part of code program, right? So these are data types. Operating system allocates memory and decides what should be stored in the memory based on the data type of these integers, decimal, characters or boolean, right? They are considered as building block of data manipulation in your Java code, because ultimately you need the data type to store your data, to put data so that you can call further business functionality. right? So these are data types. Fine. See, then we should know what is a package. Prashant, understood data types, right?
Yes, Yogesh. Yes, Yogesh. Yeah, so far it is going
Okay.
good. Yeah.
So then comes package. See, package is a namespace via which you organize, right, classes, interfaces, right? You organize HTML file, your JavaScript file. See, it is always better to organize your code. You may have 1000 classes, you may have 500 interfaces, you may have 50, 100 HTML files, you may have 120 JavaScript files. It is better you organize them. Package is like a folder structure on your computer, right? This is how you organize your stuff on your computer. In Java, package is the very first line in my code to tell in which folder, in which directory it is stored, right? So once your code is deployed to QA production, or development for testing, on the server side, the file will go in that location. Whatever package we have mentioned, it will go in that location. So it will be a huge help to you only to know where my file is, right? So that is a package. So I'm going to start with this. I'm going to create a package now, right? So I'm going to create a, sorry, first, I'm going to create a package, and I'm going to name it as com for non-government, org for government, com.programming.class1, let's say. I finished it and a package is created, right? This folder structure, it is created. Under this I can create any class, right? I selected class and I gave the name of my class as employee. Package is the first line which tells me the folder structure. Public is an access modifier which we will learn in module 5, right? We have public, private, protected, default, right? Class is also a keyword, and employee is the name of a class. Package will always be the first line which tells me where the code exists. Then I can create certain attributes, or I can create certain properties, I can create fields, or they are also called as right now non-static instance variables. Whichever term you want to use, you can use. For example, int id, employee name, then you have employee designation, and in the end you have employee salary, right? These 4 attributes you created, 4 properties you created. Right now I did not put public private in front of that. We will do that in access modifier section. Static keyword we will learn again in module 5. But when you want to create getters and setters, right? Getters and setters to get or set the data in these fields, right? So you right click on these field, you go to source, and you say generate getters and setters. You select all 4 fields. After employee designation, you generate, and getters and setters are given to you, right? Once I create main method, why it is public, why it is static, why it is void, we will learn all that. But one thing you should know, JVM directly hits main method to convert your code into bytecode or to run your code on operating system, this is the place where JVM comes. So first I am going to create a reference variable or a object, right? This is how a reference variable or a object is created. One thing.
Hey Yogesh. Hey Yogesh. Sorry, I have a quick question. Sorry to interrupt you. So on line number 36, so why, I'm just curious why it is outside of the
Because
setter?
I said create getter setter after employee designation, but getter setter are created for salary also. In Java, sequence does not matter. Java is a case sensitive language. Even if I take main method here, it
Okay.
is perfectly fine. But yes, we should, make it more elegant. You're right. What I should have said, I should have taken this salary from here and paste it here, right? So that you can see getters and setters for salary is also there.
Got you. Yeah.
Right?
Got you. Yeah. Yeah.
Java is a case sensitive language, but sequence does not matter, right? So this is how objects are created. One thing before I proceed further, you should always remember that every concept of Java is created for only one individual, which is object. Everything is created or everything will revolve around object, that you will see, right? That you will see during the course, that every concept revolve around object. So here I created an object and I'm just setting the data. For example, ID I set as 123. For example, name I set as ABC string value. For example, you know designation I set as software engineer, and for example salary I set as 5000 USD, let's say, right? And similarly you can retrieve the value. You can say ID of the employee is emp dot get ID. Similarly, you can copy this line 4 times and you can change ID, name, designation and salary. So name is going to be name, salary is going to be salary, designation is this, and salary is going to be this. So when I set the data, it will give me that data only, right? When I set the data, it will give me that data only. You see this? ID is 123, name is ABC, designation is software engineer, salary is this. But if by any chance I don't set the data, so integer default value is 0, double default value is 0.0, and string default value is null, reference variable. So I will get 0, 0.0 and null, right? When there is no value set, right? So this is how we work on object. Everything will revolve on the object. But you should also remember the definition of a class. See, what is class doing here? See, for class, see classes are created to exhibit the properties for object or to exhibit the functionality for object. So class is a medium to do something for object, right? Class is nothing but a blueprint for creating different object which will define the properties and the behavior or the functionality. These methods are called as behavior, functionality, or methods, right? These are property, attribute, fields, non-static instance variable. With the help of object, I set the data, I retrieved the data, and I ran and I got the output. Right? Java is a object oriented programming language. It has encapsulation, inheritance, abstraction, all those oops feature. But in simple language, every concept of Java will revolve around this particular individual. Everything is created for an object. Right? So we learned few basic facts that Java is now owned by Oracle since 2011. It is platform independent language, right? We tried to understand the difference between JDK, JRE and JVM. We tried to understand the IDE, Eclipse or IntelliJ, whichever you are comfortable with. We try to understand the primitive data types or reference data type, 8 primitive data types. We try to understand what packages and namespace to organize interfaces, classes, construct methods, everything you can organize. We created a class and learned that it is nothing but a blueprint for objects to exhibit their properties and behavior. And we created a getter setter to get and set the data in these properties. Just for your knowledge, later when I will teach you constructor, the same thing will become a POJO, plain old Java object. But you know this we will talk about later, right? Fine. So this is module 1. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
after that, module 2 control flow statements are there. So if it is too much, we can connect tomorrow same time, and we can proceed with control flow statement, which has selection statement, we have loop construct, or we have transfer statement to discuss as part of control flow statements.
I think I should.
I think I should. If we are available, we can go like 20 more minutes. I think that should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, but on your availability.
Yeah, but on your availability, of
Okay.
course. Yeah.
So yeah, we can take the session forward. So then is control flow statements. So control flow statements, we control the order of execution, of Java statements in the Java code, right? We control the order of execution. Basically, we are saying which statement should work and which statement should not work. So first is selection statement. We have if else, and we have switch case. These are selection statement. Then you have got loop constructs. When you try to run same set of statement for every domain entity, for every product, for every construct, for every customer, person, employee, you execute same set of statements for every domain entity, right? In this you have while, you have do while, and you have for loop. In for you have basic for loop, and you have got advanced for loop, right? Then you have got transfer statement. Via transfer statement, you transfer the code. For example, break keyword is there. Break keyword, we break the we break the flow of a program at specified condition. And continue keyword, we continue with the code but skips the remaining piece of a code at a specified condition. There is try catch finally also, which we will learn in exception handling, right? So now, I have to create help, explain you when how if else switch case loop construct and transfer statement work. I think it will be too much. Let's connect tomorrow same time, and I'll give you a brief examples on selection statement, loop construct, transfer statement, right? So uh, it's better we connect tomorrow same time.
Yeah, yeah. So even
Yeah,
that
yeah. So even
works,
that
Yogesh.
works,
Are you able to hear?
Yogesh.
Yes, yes,
Are you
yes.
able to hear me?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
so far it
yeah.
is like
So yeah, so far it is like
very good. I really
very good. I
feel
really
comfortable
feel
the way
comfortable
you're going.
the way you're going.
With the slowness. So let me
With the
also.
slowness.
I
So
don't know if
let me
I
also.
got a
I
chance
don't
to
know if
introduce
I got a chance to introduce
myself. So basically,
myself.
I'm
So
based of
basically,
Atlanta,
I'm
and
based of
I'm
Atlanta,
working
and
as
I'm working as
principal QA
principal QA
engineer here.
engineer
And
here.
the
And
reason why
the
I
reason why
joined this one
I
is,
joined this one
it's
is,
like
it's like
we do have
we
a
do
project
have a project
automation,
with
which is
automation,
like Selenium and
which is
Java. So
like
I had like
Selenium
little
and Java. So I had
experience
like little experience
with the
with
classes and all,
the
but I don't
classes
want
and
to
all, but
really interrupt
I don't want
because
to really interrupt because
I want to start this
I want to
session
start
as
this
if I don't
session
know
as
anything.
if
I want to
I
start
don't
from
know
the
anything. I
ABCs
want to start
so
from
that
the
I always
ABCs
have an
so that
option
I
to
always have an
learn
option
something new.
to
So that's the reason
learn something
I
new.
was
So
like, I
that's the
have like
reason I was like, gonna have
JDK,
like
intelligent. I have like
JDK,
very
intelligent.
little
I have like
experience on
very little experience
working
on working
writing the code and
on
all. But I
writing the
want
code and
to
all. But
learn
I
it
want to
from the scratch
learn it
because I got a
from
chance
the
only
scratch
to
because I got a
do
chance only
on the
to
frameworks
do
which are already
on the
there.
frameworks which
So
are
first I
already
want to
there.
learn like
So
Java,
first I
and
want to
then
learn like
I have
Java, and
videos,
then I have
purchased
videos, purchased for
Selenium with Java. But when I was
Selenium with
going through
Java.
those,
But when I
I
was
was
going
having
through
like
those,
little
I was
confusions,
having like
especially
little
when it
confusions,
comes to the
especially
Java. So
when it comes
that
to
is the
the
reason
Java.
I
So
joined.
that is the
So
reason I joined.
don't
So
consider me like
don't
I already have
consider
some
me like
knowledge.
I
Just
already have
just treat
some
me
knowledge.
like
Just
I
treat
don't
me
even
like
have
I don't even
ABCs. The
have
way you're going now, I
ABCs.
think
The
it
way you're
is
going now, I think
really
it is
awesome.
really
So that will be
awesome.
really
So that will
helpful.
be
So
really helpful.
down the
So
line, like I want
down
to
the line,
have like
I
Java,
want
and
to
then move
have
into
like Java,
Java,
and
and
then move into the Java,
Java with
and
Selenium. So that's my
Java with
ideal
Selenium. So
target.
that's my
But
ideal
yeah,
target.
so
But
that's about
yeah, if
me. So
so that's about me.
perfectly
So
suits.
perfectly
And
suits.
yeah, so you're one of
And
those
yeah, so
very
you're one
few
of those
structures
very
with
few
a lot of
instructors
patience,
with
and
a
the way
lot of
you're going, I
patience.
think
And the way you're
I
going,
can
I think
definitely
I can definitely
feel confidence.
feel
Yeah. So yeah,
confidence.
that's
Yeah,
about me.
yeah,
But you know, if you
that's
have like
about
any
me.
questions,
But if you
feel
have
free
like any
to.
questions,
Yeah.
feel free
Sure, no
to.
problem.
Yeah.
Prashant, don't worry. I will go slow. I will try to explain everything from very basic. I know the intricacies behind these concept, so don't worry. Just go with the pace, and I'm pretty sure, with the grace of God, you'll understand all the basic facts, which will further help you with, Selenium automation also, or, with other Java frameworks, if you ever get the chance to work on. I know it's the foundation. Yeah. So don't
Right,
worry about
right.
that. That's, once your account is created, we'll give you this recording also.